Hi there, Jeff here from the Wetsuit Centre, talking to you today about the Ripcal Flash Bomb zip-free or zipperless wetsuit, which is forthcoming from fall 2014 into winter 2015. So this is a bit of a preview. Ripcal have kindly hooked me up with a wetsuit to try out and to review, have a little look at and give you our thoughts, because this suit will be coming in to the winter range for 2014 into 2015. And there might actually be a release of some of the suits in summer. So zip-free technology, or zipperless technology, has been around for quite some time. They've had a go in the mid-90s and even earlier than that. But something really they've sort of perfected now, the actual sort of zip-free wetsuit, which is still easy enough to get in and out of, but also very good at keeping out water still. So basically the zip-free technology combined with the Flash Bomb wetsuit that's been around for a few seasons now is all about real flexibility, performance, but still retaining all of the warmth and quick drying properties of the Flash Bomb wetsuits. So zip-free technology, it's definitely sort of a move towards that in the industry at the moment. You'll see that with the winter suits that are going to be coming out for this year, later in this fall. All of the sort of major companies are providing a zip-free wetsuit or a zipperless wetsuit of such, and the guys that really sort of pioneered that and have pushed that forward have definitely been Ripcal. So if we have a little look at the suit, it's here. So essentially this is the Flash Bomb zip-free. Okay, now there are some sort of a few significant differences between this and the standard Flash Bomb, which you'll be able to notice straight away. Is no smooth skin lining on the front or the back of the wetsuit. Okay, so you don't get that single that smooth skin mesh across the front, which some people would want, which is obviously quite good at keeping the wind out of the wetsuit. But they've dropped that off, and it's more like a kind of traditional E-bomb sort of style suit, where you've got one huge panel across the front of the suit with no seams running down the front, and it's the same around the back as well. Okay, and the idea of that is basically dropping a bit of weight out of the suit, losing some of the seams around the front of the suit, which promotes more flexibility and stretch and movement throughout the wetsuit, okay, which is what this is all about. If you drop in the zip, then you may as well drop some of the other things that actually sort of restrict the suit in a way as well. So less seams the better, basically. So yeah, so one massive panel of neoprene across the whole front of the suit, and it's all E4 neoprene, which is the new, less absorbent, more lightweight neoprene which Ripcal introduced this last season just gone. So E4 neoprene the whole way through. The actual styling of the suit is really nice, really simple, kind of old school. I guess that's with the whole sort of zip-free thing. It kind of just looks quite a lot of sort of retro suit, and because of that they've introduced the old school sort of logo in there as well. Some of the traditional things you would expect, basically you've got the Crypto or Duraflex knee pads across the knee there. It's a very strong, hard-wearing knee pad which doesn't wear through very easily at all. Okay, an interesting thing is actually the key pocket on the outside. Now, I've opened it a bit closer for you. Instead of just being the traditional sort of key pocket which just goes up and over, pop your key in and it gives you a little key loop inside to keep hold of that. This one's actually magnetised. It's got a little magnet, just keeps the flap shut. Okay, not a huge difference to most people that'll make, but it's kind of cool, I thought, just a little sort of gimmicky thing. So the actual wetsuit itself on the outside sort of does bear quite a lot of resemblance to what you typically notice in the E-bomb, and definitely if you've had a look at the E-bomb zipperless, there's a massive crossover between the two basically. Okay, so E4 the whole way through. The actual seams are obviously glued and blind stitched, or sort of sealed basically, with traditional stitching on the outside halfway through, and then the inside you've got what's on the E-bomb and then previously on the Flash Bomb, which is the E4 taping over the top of the joints, just to make sure it doesn't wear through, make sure you don't get any water penetrating the suit. But rather than using that old liquid taping, they use this E4 taping because it has more stretch and it's more comfortable against your skin. Okay. Now I have done another little video of me actually trying the suit out, and in terms of temperature and warmth, then I was using this suit kind of beginning of April in the UK, where the water temperature is typically about sort of 10 or 11 degrees. It was a really nice day, so that does help, but having said that, this is a 4-3 and I was absolutely toasty, really, really warm. I could have been wearing this suit, I expect, probably much earlier in the season, and probably much later through the year than the traditional sort of December sort of time. So really impressed from a warm point of view. So the zipperless technology then, this is what it's all about. It's basically getting rid of the need for a zip across the chest of the suit. Okay, the benefits of that is just all about comfort and flex. Okay, having a zip across your chest can be quite uncomfortable and it is restrictive in a certain sort of way. in terms of sort of lateral movement, dynamic movement across the chest. And when you're sort of leaning up on a surfboard like that, it can dig in, and it does feel nice not to have a zip on the chest. And it does make a lot of sense. I thought it was a bit gimmicky last year when they brought it in. Maybe it's not sort of something that really is necessary. But having said that, once you've got in and out of one and see how easy it is, then you kind of think to yourself, well, what's the point of having a zip on there? Keeps the water out absolutely fine. And so, you know, there's no real point having a zip across the chest. There's less things that can actually fail on the wetsuit, because typically with most wetsuits, and yeah, definitely with rip curl to a certain degree, the first thing that would go is the zip, basically. Albeit usually after a few years' use, but yeah, definitely the zip is sort of more prone to falling apart. So if you haven't got one of those, then hopefully that'll give you more shelf life to the suit. So I've shown a little instructional video when I actually sort of got in and out of the suit down in the West Country when I was actually having a go at surfing in it. And so I'll just sort of pass over to that, have a little look at sort of how easy it is to get in and out of the suit, and I'll turn this puppy inside out to have a look inside. Zip-free suit on, and essentially it's pretty much just as easy as a zip suit, as long as you just sort of pull the suit inside out. Nice and easy to get on. Now we're going to been trialling the Rip Curl Zipperless Flash Bomb. This is a 4.3, which is due for release later this year for winter 2014 to 2015. The suit's all about flexibility, but also coupled with the flash dry lining to keep you really, really warm. Hopefully you've got the little clip earlier showing you getting into the suit, so I just sort of thought I'd show getting out of the suit as well, just to see how easy it is to get out. In terms of warmth, just to let you know the actual time of year at the moment, it's the 11th of April. Water temperature is not too bad, it's not been too cold in winter, so we're talking about 10 or 11 degrees, but I wore this 4.3 for about 2.5 hours. It's a new suit, so I was absolutely toasty and warm. We'll do a full review back at the warehouse to give you a bit more inside the suit, but just show you basically getting out of the suit. Hopefully it should be nice and straightforward. Basically, as getting in, just the Zipperless panel comes over your head and hopefully just goes back over, come out the side, and then it's just similar to getting a chest zip. Always the hardest thing is basically getting shoulders and elbows out. But with the E4 neoprene, there's so much flexibility, hopefully that shouldn't be too hard. The bigger you are, sometimes the more less flexibility you have, and the harder it is to get out of the wetsuit. And one of the things that people don't like doing is asking for someone to get help out of the suit. So hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. The openings are quite wide. Basically the suit is so flexible that once you've got it over your shoulder and your elbows, you shouldn't have to sort of dislocate anything to be able to get the suit out. Once you've got this far, then you'll laugh. So that wasn't actually too hard. Okay, so this is the inside of the Flash Bomb Zipperless. This one being a 4.3 for fall 2014 into winter 2015. So the inside of the suit, as you can see, is basically pretty much the same as the Flash Bomb. You get the flash dry lining inside the suit, running the whole way through the front and the back. And basically, this is, if you're not familiar with it, is Rip Curl's quick drying polypro material. It's basically very fluffy to the touch, which does sort of give it more insulation properties and keeps you really, really warm. Keeps all of that heat that is generated inside the suit, keeps it within the suit. But the primary benefit is, well, it's a non-absorbent material which wicks away water. And basically what that means is it draws the water out of the wetsuit onto the tips of the backcomb fibre, allowing it to dry really, really quickly. And the boast of this suit is it dries within 15 minutes. So for those of you sort of getting back into the suit, then you don't have to get back into a cold, wet wetsuit. But having said that, probably one of the primary benefits really is warmth. This material, because it's fluffy, I don't know how much of it's psychological, but having that fluffy material inside the suit definitely insulates you and keeps you warmer for longer. So a suit like this, which is a 4.3, can be worn for the majority of the year. There's no reason why you can't wear it in the UK summer, because quite frankly it doesn't really ever get that warm. But it is great for the winter, and if you've got good tolerance for the cold, you can pretty much wear this suit the whole year. Okay, so the actual zip-free system, just walk you through that and how it's actually constructed. It's really, really straightforward. Basically, the actual inside of the wetsuit is brought right up to the collar, and then they sew the chest piece over the top, sealing it across the front here in an arced kind of ergonomic fashion, and then across the back here, straight across the back, across the shoulder blades. Okay, dipped nice and low down on the left here to give it more of a space to actually open up. And then naturally, as your sort of body pushes into the suit and pushes the suit out, this creates a seal here so no water can get up and into the suit. and if any water does come through the collar, then basically, instead of going into the suit, it just meets the inside panels of the suit here, okay, and then it's flushed out through the drainage holes that are on the front and back of the chest zip. But it's just really straightforward, really. All you're doing when you're actually getting in the suit, and if you sort of had a little look at me climbing in and out of it, then it should give you an idea. Then basically all you're doing is just pulling the side of the suit up and over, creating a gap in the top of the chest zip like you would normally do with any other traditional chest zip wetsuit, climbing in there. Once you're actually into the suit, and you pull that other piece back up, pop your head through, and then you're in. Really straightforward. And then use this fastening toggle on the front of the suit here just to sort of create a nice bond and stop any flushing through the side of the chest zip. So in terms of the actual getting in and out of the suit, it's really straightforward, and it kind of looks nice as well without the zip.